Hey, so we are getting pajamas done. That's what we're doing. We have this big, hairy, audacious goal to get pajamas migrations done by the end of FY25 Q1 or April 30th, 2024 in human terms. And then after that, we'll move to tracking this Moleka KPI. So we'll hit that percentage that is done, and we'll try and stay there, right? So think of it like error budgets or security issues. We're never going to have a 100% uptime. We're never going to have completed 100% of bugs, and we're never going to be 100% adopted. Simply put, things change, right? Like we add new features, we remove old features, we add new components to the design system, or we change the guidance slightly. That percentage is going to go up and down. We see it happen when we dig into the numbers. It does go up and down. So this is something that we want to get to an acceptable level and then stay on top of, and then we don't need to do these big mass migrations anymore. The reason I'm recording this and speaking to you specifically, the reason I've sent it to you is because your group is impacted by this. There's some work that you'll need to do next quarter to get that percentage up. For some of you, this is not a lot of work. For some of you, this is a lot of work. We'll go over the numbers later, but there is definitely help available. I'll talk about that later as well. First, though, I want to talk about the targets that we've set. So we're treating it a bit like a health status. This is just a mock-up of something that we're going to try and add into Tableau. There's a lower bound of 80%, an upper bound of 95%, and we've got 10 written here, but we changed that to 20 minimum findings. So what that means is any group above 95% adoption is good. They're on track. That's exactly what we want. This is our target. This is what we're all going to try and hit this quarter. Anything between 80% and 95%, this needs attention. You need to start looking at this. You need to get yourself above that 95%. And then anyone below 80%, there's a regression, right? Something has happened that's caused you to go below 80%, because currently every group, barring a few, but I'll get to that, is above that 80%. So we need to step in and figure out what's going on and how we can really get you up into that needs attention and ultimately into the on track bound, I guess. This minimum findings caveat, this is just a way of filtering out the weird edge cases, right? So if you have less than 20 findings, you're automatically compliant. We don't massively care, simply because. So here's an example. GitLab have 2 findings. One is good, one is bad. So they're 50% adopted. They need one migration to be 100% adopted. Numbers like this don't make sense. So we've come with a minimum of 20 findings so that every migration has at most a 5% change in your overall adoption. What that looks like for the groups right now, you see, I've got the current ratios here. There are these 4 that are below 80%, but they all have less than 20 findings, so that's fine. They're all good. So everyone here and down, you're all good. You don't have anything to do. Everyone here and up, there's a little bit of work required, increasingly more work as we go up. I think anyone in these groups doesn't really need the help. We can all do 10 migrations in the next 3 months. They're not huge, but these groups here, these 6 groups, they will need extra help. So the help we have available, mainly for these groups, though other groups can use it if needed, is we have hired a contractor whose sole focus for the next few months will be pajamas migrations and getting them done. We have a UX engineer in Foundations who, whilst it won't be their sole focus, will be looking pretty heavily at these migrations as well. And we have the engineers in the other groups. They are always there. So there's engineers in these groups that don't need to do anything for their group, but they can still help your group. This is allowed. Everyone can contribute. Everyone knows how these migrations work. They should be able to help. So picking on project management, whilst 86 is the amount of migrations you need, it doesn't mean your engineers need to do 86 migrations. It just means the migrations need to get done. So recruit people, talk to people, get people to come help. There'll be pajamas migration days. You can set up pair programming, however you want to do it. Set these things up and get some help in. And as I said, the contractor that we've hired and the UX engineer will also be looking at the groups with the most migrations needed and really helping them out as well. So we should start getting these numbers down. So what I want every group to do, if you are in one of these groups that doesn't need to do anything, great, congrats, help out the other groups. If you are in one of these groups that needs to do less than 10 migrations, get them done, and then help out the other groups. Put your own mask on first. If you're in one of these groups, get the migrations done with your engineers. Try and recruit people in to come help you with that. Talk to foundations, see what we can do to help. We will be actively helping these groups as well. What I don't want any of you to do is to go away, especially these groups here, and go, right, okay, we need to do 88 migrations. Let's create 88 issues for all these migrations. That's not productive. Don't do that. Go to your dashboard link. You will see here are all the ones that you need to migrate in orange. If you want to track them, create issues that say, I don't know, migrate X amount of components. And then when the engineer gets to that, come in and create issues for them components there and then. The reason I'd rather you did this than create the issues now and then spend the next 3 months going through them. I know it's not really very GitLab to do this, but as I said earlier, things change, right? So we have contractors going through these. So they could migrate some things that in a mass migration that affects some of these that aren't necessarily tied to specific issues. We could delete a section of the code base that deletes these the bits that are affected by these. We could change the guidance on what is and isn't considered compliant. So, for an example, form group class HAML might actually be fine. We might decide, you know what, that's fine. We don't need to worry about this. And then you've got a bunch of issues that don't make any sense anymore because you don't actually need to migrate it. So the best thing to do is not create issues initially, wait until you're about to do the work, then create the issue and go from there. Again, you can create an issue to track this. That's fine. Just try not to put too many specifics in there. You're going to thank yourself for this in the long run, or not thank yourself if you end up doing this. This is how we started doing it. It's a whole thing. Don't do that. Okay, in summary, get these migrations done. We are here to help. We can get this done. It looks scary. It looks like there's a big number of things to do. But really, with the amount of people that we have, it's totally doable. We can do this. We've got 3 months, 4 months nearly to get this done. Let's do it. Let's do this one final push, and then we never have to worry about these again.